All right, so let's start. Mr. Keynes, thank you for joining us today to discuss your book, Just a Little More Creative Music with Mantra, Meditation, Poetry, Conflict with
Mhm.
Emotions in Reality. So let's dive right in. Your book explores a fascinating intersection of themes. Could you please tell us more about the purpose and the goals behind in writing this book?
Well, the purpose and goes behind writing this book was to capture various programs designed to help veterans dealing with PTSD and depression with anxiety by
Mhm.
shedding light on what's available. Overall, it's designed to help prevent suicide and inspire others, veterans.
Okay. Well, it's clear that this book holds a significant meaning for veterans and others who are actually struggling with mental health challenges.
Mhm.
How do you believe?
Some worse than others.
Yeah, yes, that's correct. And how do you believe this book can provide hope and support to those individuals? And what does the book and its content focus on?
The book and its content shows the various programs being used and how they connect and affect the mindset of the veteran.
Mm.
Taking the outcome is what it does.
And what does this creation of this book mean to veterans and other dealing with depression and anxiety, struggling with PTSD?
Well, it gives them a look at each different forms of therapy and window into what might can be expected if considering it was an alternative means of therapy for them.
All right, yeah, that's insightful. And how does mantra mediation fit into this book with reality poetry, with musical therapy?
Well, mantra meditation is an outlet with emotional discipline designed to get control over one's thoughts with emotions through frequent meditation methods to find inner peace with ongoing raging thoughts with emotions that tend to dictate a person's life from traumatic experiences before. The
Mhm.
book bring gives you that, it shows the process. In other words, how like journaling was done
Mm.
in the meditation part of the mantra, but you imagine the thoughts that was going through your mind.
Mm.
You write them down. Then
Mm.
you take them and you convert it to a poem. Then you convert it to a song.
Mm.
Now the thought has got a poem. Now the thought has got a song.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a brainer. It's one of them never been done before.
Yeah, it is. And it's also a beautiful example of the power of
Yeah.
music. Yeah. So, to continue, how does musical therapy play a role into a reality poetry dealing with mantra meditation?
Well, musical therapy is a crucial step in the process of overcoming traumatic events a person has endured.
Mhm.
Like the mantra teaches controls of thought and feelings. Musical therapy lets you write it down
Mhm.
and get it out on paper so you can separate the entity from yourself and let the healing process begin
Mhm.
with a chance of a good mental health direction.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah,
Like a release, basically.
yes.
Both of them are a form of release, but one's just a little more creative,
Mhm.
and you can see the outcome, and you have a control in what you're creating, and you get to do two birds. You're just bringing it all together and putting a track. It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. That's a pretty good insight and point on that
Mhm.
one. And what does this book creation mean for future generations to come?
Well, it gives a unique style with flavor to therapy with music written from various situations
Mhm.
that created it only to be given back as
Mhm.
a tool to teach and help broaden the minds of those who choose to read and educate themselves with it.
Yes, that's correct. It's definitely helpful for future generations. Um, then, what makes this book different from every other book written by authors in today's society?
Well, this book showcases events that have happened in reality on
Mhm,
a day to day basis, portraying the onslaught with aftermath being recorded in poetry and musical style,
mhm,
which has never been done before.
yeah. And does this book shed any light on future events that hasn't happened yet?
Well, this book only tells of what happened or was ongoing. The
Mhm,
future hasn't been written yet.
yeah.
So that means we still have a chance to change its outcomes as a nation or as an individual.
Yeah. That's a crucial point. And what purpose does this reality um, poetry musical style serves in reality?
Well, it captures struggles with heartaches in a peaceful manner to
Mhm.
ease those dealing with an outlet to escape. It records the moment in history with something to reflect back on later.
All right. Will this book create or make a difference with society or reality it was wrote after?
Well, this book will educate the reader to understand what happened, to think and consider more alternative methods
Mhm.
when dealing with your reality other than violence and danger with conflict.
Yes, that's correct. It's definitely a good alternative for those who are really looking for
Yeah.
more. And what does this book truly symbolize and capture in its written words?
Well, the book marks a beginning with legacy for each and every poem or song written in it for events, situations, or those who personally inspired a poem read.
All right. Lastly, what makes creating mantra meditation poetry mean for the mantra meditators who teach mantra to others?
It means you just learn how to put thoughts from meditating into poetry format, creating another unique style of poetry that's never been done before, only journaling, but to put mantra meditation poetry into song format,
Mhm,
now you just went into another realm that
mhm.
has the writer. I can't even explain that one.
This is a truly unique alternative meditation that you
Yes,
have
it is.
right now. And thank you, Mr. Kins, for sharing your insights and the inspiration behind your book, Just a Little More, Creative Music with Mantra Meditation Poetry, Conflict with Emotions and Reality. Thank you so much for sharing your insights and for your time today.
Well, you're welcome.
We would want to know if where we can, our viewers can purchase your book.
This book is available on Amazon. It's also available in audio book. It's actually cheaper
Mhm,
for audio. But now, if there is something in there that commemorates
mhm,
and means something to you personally, that you
mhm.
need a signed copy or all the above,
Yeah,
you know, because people do tend to be materialistic
yeah,
more than spiritual as well.
yeah.
That you can order a hardback
Mhm,
because it's designed. Got that as well, and it's paperback. But if you just like to read, the cheapest version is available in audio book on Amazon, um, nationwide. Actually worldwide. Just look on Amazon and look for Just a Little More. But you need to remember Milt L. is the author.
all
And it's just a little more conflicts with emotions and reality, which is a sequel to Conflicts with Emotions in Reality, which was written during combat operations in Iraq.
yeah, yeah.
Intriguing. But yeah, it is what it is.
Do you have a copy of your book with you? We just want.
Honestly, I only got a copy because we do a concert once a year with the Veterans Music Project,
Mm-hmm.
who is part of who I write with.
Mm-hmm.
And when we perform, I usually tend to get the books and sign them and give them to the veterans who come out to the concert, and to encourage them in the Wounded Warrior Project and all that to be familiar with these programs more forward than they are they sit around. And like I said, this was written it was killing three birds with one stone. It was written for the Wounded Warrior Project and my group in Atlanta, the Veterans Music Project, and the mantra, Warrior's Path, and all the things that everybody that contributed, and all these different programs designed to help veterans that none of us really know about.
Yes, that's right. And this is a very noble effort of you, and a very
Yes, it is. And the point behind it was it really wasn't about the money.
Yeah.
I mean, because the one thing that really got me going was the spiritual portion of it. And when I say the spiritual, like, you always want to create something that solves problems.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you get a multi-purpose spiritual in His grace.
It is.
And if it becomes a song, the video, unite, come to God.
Yeah.
Then it's written out of spiritual hymn titles of all genres, written down through the ages. Blues, country, hip hop, all these titles made into a verse and a chorus. And then we unite and come to God, is what it states. And then, as a chaplain and every preacher that I've ever met said that you can't there's so many different versions of gospel music in all genres, you can't put them all in one sermon. Well, we just did something that was never done before. We put it into a song and made it into In His Grace, which any Christian knows In His Grace very well, because those are the three words we struggle to be. But you know what's unique? In all my research and all the songs written, nobody ever wrote a song about them three words that we truly do know. You got Amazing Grace, you got Utmost Grace, UT. You got Utmost Grace, which is a new spiritual written for a food bank, which is in the book, and the mission that they support as a sponsor, and then In His Grace. So it connects it all. And what makes it, like I said, I can't explain it. It's just, that's what He wants.
Yes.
And that's what He gets. So whether it just stays on a shelf or it sells out as a #1 bookseller, that wasn't really what I was after. I was just trying to capture every person that I've personally met who inspired a poem I put in this book and dedicated it to them. And that's the legacy that captures their memory. And that's my way as an author saying thank you for what you do. This is my gift and my blessing. I'm just utilizing it to, we're just it's like a time capsule. That's what it is.
Yes, it is.
And it changes the world. But the funny part is, that's just the book version. You ain't heard the music yet. Still good stuff to come. And out of that book, there is some music that's actually been made into a song. Like during Path, we wrote Warrior's Path. We wrote This Place We Call America. Well, the original poem that led to the song version that we did with the band is on YouTube. And I do the chorus in This Place We Call America. And at that time when COVID, we needed these. And this year, like I said, and still there's songs to be produced, like Good Old Days, which is one we've done now that I do a verse with a group. It's on YouTube with my first video. Then it inspired another song that completely separate
Mhm.
to, but sequel to Good Old Days. Because if you think about it, Good Old Days, what's better than Good Old Days?
Yeah.
Good friends, great times, and lots of laughs. Okay.
That's right.
So when the guy started Good Old Days with me, said, "Giddy up, hi ho silver." Now he's a black man. I'm like, "Giddy up, hi ho silver." He says, "Yeah, I'm a cowboy." I said, "Okay, Mr. Cowboy, you just inspired another one in the sequel." He said, "We ain't even done with this one." I said, "Hey, you started it. I'm just giving you what you inspired. So here we go, Mr. Giddy Up, hi ho silver. Let's go. A blast from the past. The Lone Ranger met his danger. Wouldn't you figure? Like Roy Rogers pulled the trigger. Sing them songs and right away live to fight another day. Good friends, great times, lots of laughs. Accepting your losses, overcoming your past. And since you guys say I write the whole song, I'm dropping the mic. To be continued. I'm like 5 years ahead of the Veterans Music Project. And I can't even explain that one. So, God bless, I would rather be ahead waiting on people to get their stuff figured out and scrambling to try and figure out what I'm going to do. But at least with this, it's captured. It's not forgotten.
Yeah.
And who knows? You got a lot of things that contributed to this. Can you see with 2020? A life to be taken.
Yeah.
We all remember this.
Yeah.
COVID, everything comes in.
That's correct. Yeah.
So it's a creation. Now, if I don't know what to tell you it is, but it's definitely unique. And the only thing more unique than the contents is the cover that took, I don't even want to talk about how much that took. Because it had to capture everything in detail. And what makes it so unique and special is the fact that you see a lady praying or meditating at the edge of a water.
Yeah.
Like on a beach.
Yeah.
In the background, you see a bass jumping out of the water.
Yes.
Now, if you don't think, it also has musical therapy in that front picture too. The water line in the back of the trees is the silhouette and reflection of a guitar.
Okay.
So it captured all that in the one thing.
Yeah.
Now, what it does for the world, well, I don't know. But I pray every day that it, like I said on 68 poem, mantra meditation poetry, I can't title what I can't explain. But it's here for your enjoyment and your reading. Now, what you take from it or what you get from it is strictly up to you. But if it changes your life, inspires you to do something, if it just revelates you, I don't know, then take whatever it is it does for you and make it work. And remember, make it count, because this is all you got. One life, one shot, one kill. So if you don't put it and make it worth it, well, there ain't nobody that can do it but you. And that's the truth.
Thank you so much for your insight, Mr. Keynes. And this is definitely a great book for those who are really looking for help, especially in meditation, and also those who love music as well, and those looking for healing.
Well, this here kind of, I'll share the honest truth on this.
Sure.
Mantra meditation, I've never done before. Never. Now, poetry, that has been an outlet since combat.
Yeah.
And that was just something I've always wanted to do, was write music, but I never was any good. When I went to combat, I thought I was going to die. Chaplain says write, so I wrote. Next thing you know, it turned into poetry, then it turned into music. And man, I could write about anything. So you give it 30 plus years, and wham, boy, it's good now. But what it has done is when I got introduced, because I'm spiritual, I'm a Baptist. I
Mm.
got introduced to mantra meditation, which I thought was a joke.
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't think it would do anything for me.
Mm.
But these people who have the therapy program, give it a chance, see what it can do for you.
Mm.
So I did the meditation, I did the mantra, and it's a very disciplined and respectful therapy of clearing your mind and getting control of things that just run out of control if you don't train yourself and discipline yourself enough to get it to where you can handle it. And that's what this does. The only problem I had is when you take that discipline and you put it into my discipline I've already got, now we got a conflict of interest. Because now you're taking this and it's bumping into the poetry. And I mean, it is really busting my chops. Because at one point, I'm like, okay, let's get a grip.
Mhm.
I ain't crazy, I ain't lost it,
Mhm.
but I know I can write. So I did meditation,
Mhm.
write a poem. I'm like, do meditation, write a poem. Do meditation, write. I'm like, no, this ain't right.
Mhm.
Mantra teacher says it's perfectly normal. I said, are you sure? He said, yeah, give it a chance. So I got to where I went into a retreat, 4 hours. Took everything that ever was discussed, things, turned it, gave them a poem when the 4 hour was over. And I'm like, this ain't normal. This is not normal. You're not supposed to be meditating and writing poetry about the situation that's ongoing in the meditation. And this is getting creepy.
Mhm.
So I'm like, I got to get a grip.
Yeah.
But once I realized it's this,
Mhm.
your creativity, whatever it is, electronics, words, music, it's a blessing from God. Ever how you use them blessings and sharpen them skills and perfect them, you only add to them. So what ended up happening with me is I merged them. So now I'm writing, meditating, and I'm writing poetry from the meditation, and sometimes inspired from thought from the meditation that inspires something else. What used to take weeks now takes minutes. I mean, it's like sped up. I can't explain it. And yeah, it's like, dude. I mean, I remember I'd been working on a song and poem for a chaplet. And I had been sitting on it for over a year trying to figure out a chorus.
Yeah.
After the mantra, after a couple months, as soon as I got back, I don't know what, bam, I had the chorus, had the song wrote, sent it to him, got him on, and I'm like, dude, I got so bad, you can't even, let's say this, the music producer for the Veterans Music Project got on, invited me like this into a Zoom feed.
Yeah.
In the chat room. Wasn't even on video. And he was in East Atlanta promoting International Make Music Day. Yeah. Gets in there, and here's what he does. His co-producer says they're in a feed store that doubles as a burger joint. He was holding a menu, and he said they serve everything but taco. Okay. The music producer says a couple minutes later, I can't think without having a drink. A couple minutes go by, he said, mentions drag queen bingo. And I'm like looking at this like I've never heard of that. I ain't making fun of it. I've just never heard of it.
Yeah.
And honestly, I do think you two are probably going to be a little underdressed for that occasion. And then he mentions boom whacker. And I'm sitting here scratching my head. Now, how do you register on everything that just went down? Here's how I'm going to do it. Now, I'm going to show you why nobody wants to text me, call me, get me in a live Zoom, let alone their chat room, or even stand beside me and open their mouth. I'm going to take everything you just put out in the past 20 minutes, put it into a poetic parody, and hand it back to you. Now, are you ready? Here we go. When I feel the need to feed, I can't think without having a drink. When I want to play drag queen bingo, make me want to go boom whacker but taco. Now, he shakes his head, His co-producer looks the other way. His wife is laughing. And I looked at him, I said, now here's the thing. You have my permission to promote that song. But if you promote it, you're going to get all the right sponsors for the wrong reasons. But I'm not singing it.
Yeah.
But it's right up Elton John's album. And that's every time we get on stage now, the humor, I say, Bataco. He says, no. That's funny.
Yes.
So, as you can tell, I've gotten quite good at what I do. And I don't mean that, but you got humor in all things.
Yeah.
So, I've just learned how to take things and get good with what I do. Now, if it's mantra that added to that, to flavor it, to open the mind and bring peace that just makes you feel that much more creative, then God bless, it was the key to success that made this happen. And the musical therapy just benefits more from the situation and the general public, because you don't know what the next thing you're going to create. A great #1 hit, a great invention, save lives, change the world, and all that can be done with one song, one law, and one idea. And that's the way I see it. And that's why I don't hold back. I'm not prejudiced. I'm as real as they come when it comes to making this statement. Because the one thing overall, you got to laugh.
Yeah.
You're going to have new ideals for new different styles of music, songs, and laws and people. But peace is the one thing that we have to maintain, and learning how to control ourselves without having violence, conflict, and drama, and people dying. Because the value of life, you can't bring them back once they're gone. And all you got to cherish is the good times and memories. And that's where the music, the poetry, the books, the legacy, the ideals, that's where the creation for these books came from. Same description. I'm just capturing the ones that I know. There's a lot of people in this world. And if everybody learned to manage their anger and deal with their problems a little bit better than grabbing a gun and going to war, we probably wouldn't lose as many people. And we'd probably have a lot better, a safer world and society with reality. To feel we got a future and a way to progress without stressing and worrying every day what's going to happen when we wake up tomorrow, if there's even going to be one. And that's the biggest thing we got. And that's one of the biggest problems in society with reality that we face every day right now. Hanging on each elected leader to each passed law, whether it's in this country or another one, or if it's international. It's just, But I think I've shed enough light on all that.
Thank you so much, Mr. Keynes, for
You're welcome.
Sharing your insights, inspiration, and your experience behind your book, Just a Little More, Creative Music with Meditation.
If it helps understand the background with me, I was a sergeant with the MP, military police. We're what you call world police. I got a bachelor's in criminal justice, social construction management. I've been in and out of, I've chased tornadoes and hurricanes. I've been in devastated areas and tried to save lives and reduce conflict and drama all over. Enforcing laws and making sure people were safe. And all my experiences, all my trials, struggles with tribulations led me to who I am today. Now, I'm no martyr. I'm no God. I'm just a normal Joe like anybody else. I'm pretty sure with a cycle of life, I'll be gone. If my health don't maintain or I don't eat just right, I'll be gone quicker than some. Or may live longer than most. But it's not it's not how much of the world you have. It's how you live in the world you got. and how you make the best of it with the people in it. That makes makes life worth living and your time here more valuable. Because, like I said, it ain't about money, it ain't about property, it's not about fame, it ain't about glory. Because you can't take none of that with you when God calls you home. And when then, like everybody else, we all become dust, and you blow away in the wind, and all you was a memory.
Yeah. All right.
See? That's it.
Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Keynes. And to our viewers, also thank you for joining us today. And be sure to check out Just a Little More, creative music with mantra, meditation, poetry, conflict with emotions in reality. And explore the resources available, as mentioned by Mr. Keynes, and also support our veterans and those dealing with mental health challenges. Thank you again for your time, Mr. Keynes, for your
You're welcome.
unique and important work. Have a good day.
You too.